Hi, hello, and greetings to everyone out there. Sorry for the delay, but we ended up having a problem with the uh, Discord and updating and getting everybody in, getting everyone piled into the room, as it were. But hey, you know what? It's a role playing session, and if it doesn't begin with a delay of some sort, it's not really a role playing session. As long as you can actually get everyone there, you're good. All right, so I'm going to switch us over to Roll20 here, and also Lore Link. Here we go. Hi, here's me. Here's my Christmas sweater. I am holiday attired. Thank you for the conversion on captions and sound 20. Excellent. Um, so what are we doing here, and what is all of this? Well, first of all, I'm Mark Della-Croce. I'm the uh, product director, marketing person, general all around person for Lorelink, which is an application which is designed to help GMs deal with all the complicated situations that can arise during a game. Lorelink is a program that helps you build everything out, lets you basically store all your notes in an organized fashion, make them easily accessible, make it easily to link between them, and make you able to quickly jump and deal with all the crazy stuff that your players can do, throw at you, take notes, prepare for the next session, run the session, and then actually record what happened during the session. So today we are going to be playing a holiday themed episode. We're going with a Christmas themed thing. We're going with a relatively light game just to have some fun because it is that time of year and everyone's busy. Don't want to do anything too grim or gritty like we've done in the past. So we're going to be playing a game system called Feng Shui. Feng Shui, Feng Shua, Feng Shui. It's various different, basically different ways you can pronounce that. They're correct, but basically more or less correct ones depending on where you are. We're going to be playing out an adventure in which the players have to deal with some kind of crisis at the North Pole. What it is, they don't know yet, but I will let them introduce themselves. So, we'll start with Michael. Go ahead, introduce yourself and your character, and what your character's name and what your hook is, as it were.
Hi, I'm Michael. I like playing games. My,
Good
my
start.
character today is the bounty hunter. Um, uh, yeah, I don't have a name. I'll have to figure that out. That's a great question. I forgot to come up with a name. No,
The curse of all characters.
but
The
I'm
nameless
awesome, and
one.
I'm going to be tracking. I'm going to be
Nope.
tracking the Grinch. I'm on his trail. Can't ruin Christmas on my watch.
There we go. Oh, no, we're not muted. Okay, Michael is playing the bounty hunter. He's on the trail with a Grinch. Martine.
So I am the archer, and I had not come up with a name, so I'm going to be Archie the archer because that's how we're going to roll today.
Okay.
And as a hook, well, if you like it, you should have stuck an arrow in it. Yeah, yeah.
So does that
But no,
hook mean that you're like tracking down a renegade boyfriend, girlfriend? I don't know, or she could be whichever genders they wanted to be.
well, I'm not gonna pile on tracking the Grinch because I feel somebody's got a bahung bug a little bit. So I'm gonna say I have a beef to grind against Santa Claus because Santa didn't get me it got me the wrong plushie last year. There we
Okay.
go.
You'll have something in common with our next person. Tony, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Hey, I'm Tony. I'm playing the character of the Big Bruiser. And unlike the rest of my coworkers here, his name is Clarence Foreman.
Solid,
Um,
solid.
he's just here because he's been asking for a pound puppy for years, and Santa's never brought him a pound puppy, and so he wants his pound puppy. Light brown, dark brown spots. He wants that pound puppy.
Solid. And
Daw.
last but not least, 20.
Hello, everyone. I am playing Maverick Cop Sam Hunter, and she's been sent to the North Pole because there's a mole in Santa's operation that she has to try and ferret out.
All right. Excellent. So, all of you basically have your own reasons for wanting to get to the North Pole, whether it's to deal with a target in case of the Grinch, whether it is to have basically get a gift from Santa that you've always been wanting, or trying to deal with some kind of issue inside this basically the Santa organization. Something is going on with them from the North Pole. All of you received basically in between jobs, your various different jobs and things you've been doing, hunting down things. You received a letter which contained basically a set of instructions, and basically to go to a particular local municipal airport at a particular time. Wait, no. Okay. And basically you should go to a particular plane. And if you do, you will be given a chance basically that this will take you to the North Pole. And basically, and each letter mentions your particular basically grudge. For the bounty hunter, this includes a picture of the basically the Grinch at Santa's workshop. It's a kind of a blurry, your typical private investigator, long distance telephoto shot. Not a lot of detail, but you can clearly make out that that's the green furred characteristics of the Grinch, clearly at the North Pole basically inside the Santa's workshop. For both basically for both Clarence and Archie, it will include shots of what looks to be screenshots from something that looks like Santa's naughty list, a giant Excel file. And it's got like a list of years and the gifts wanted, and it's got those entries for it, and then it's got basically a giant naughty check mark, and basically it's got the gift crossed out and coal highlighted instead of it. And so and for 20, was 20, did you have a character name? I can't remember. I just
Sam Hunter.
Sam Hunter. Right. Okay. For Sam
Detective.
Hunter. Yes, of course. For Sam Hunter, it has a picture of basically an individual who you have been basically through some of your research you've suspected to be basically to be a mole within Santa's organization. It is a individual known as one second, I got a name here. Nope, that's the wrong document. Acker Bessermelman.
Can you spell that surname?
It's a Besselmann, or Acker is Acher.
Got it. Thank you.
And basically clearly, and it gives a GPS kind of it's got like a tracking, like he's got a tracking amplet because he's supposed to be basically he's a known individual. He's currently on basically it's actually not a known, basically it's got tracking coordinates from his cell phone, which he was foolish enough to turn on at some point while making contact. And so it's got GPS coordinates that locates him at the North Pole at Santa's secret workshop. So all of you receive this information. 20, you are told basically in yours, if you wish to bring your vehicle, you can bring it, and the plane will be big enough to store that. There'll be a transport plane, large transport plane. And so you're given instructions to meet at a particular time at a local airport. So all of you will arrive there. Basically, the scene will open on all of you kind of showing up at this airport, and it's very definitely it's a pre 2001 municipal airport. So you can literally just drive up to the runway and just basically in the K-20's case, just Sam could just drive their car onto the plane. But all of you arrive around the same time. And so you're all kind of staring at this plane. There's some people milling around it, doing some final checks, but you don't see anybody. Basically, the cargo area looks like it's been divided into basically two sections, and there's very definitely a section. There's a door between them you can see. But basically, the section that you're looking at is just a row of jump seats. And basically the usual, basically kind of a stripped down. There's some crates strapped to one, basically strapped to the center of it. And there's just enough room to plant your vehicle, the 1981 Chevy Impala. You can pull that. Basically, you can pull that in. So, is anyone else? Basically, so is everyone piling on the plane or doing anything else?
I take it since we're running right up to the plane itself, we can have our weapons with us. We're not worried about passing through security.
Yeah, this is 2001 basically airport security is, it's basically a metal detector at the bigger airports, but a municipal airport like this, nah. It's like it is midnight. It is dark and cold. You are
perfect.
somewhere north. It's the week of Christmas. We'll say it is December 20th, in fact.
I will stroll casually up to the airplane,
Okay.
hop on board.
Okay. So, assuming there are no objections, everyone will get on board and strap in.
Yes.
Basically, you'll be able to quickly strap your car into the plane. Basically, it's got a couple of the usual, basically safety straps and kind of tire locks. Basically, it's obviously a large cargo vehicle, and so all of you get strapped in. You can make introductions of yourselves to each other or not. Is anyone not going to introduce yourself?
I'm just going to be very quiet with my eyes closed, trying to breathe and just holding on to the armrests like my life depends on it.
I'm gonna kind of collapse into the chair, kind of like one leg up, one leg out, leaning back, taking up my space.
I'm going to find the warmest spot in the plane. That's where I'm going to sit.
Okay.
Hunter introduces herself as Hunter. That's it.
Okay. All right. So,
Name's
Grace.
Chris.
Basically, you'll see a couple of people will kind of run up to the plane. They'll give you basically. It looks like they give you a couple. Like they'll look at you guys with a kind of a curious look, but then they'll just shake their heads and basically seal the plane up. You'll hear the engine spin up. This is an old cargo military plane. So you can hear everything whirring up. It's very loud, very noisy. The seats aren't uncomfortable, and the flight isn't going to be. You're going to guess the flight isn't going to be any more comfortable. It is. There's like one. Basically, the cabin is pressurized. There's at least one or two kind of heated vents that are kind of pushing warm air from the engines in a half-hearted fashion. Basically Archie is able to basically manage to curl up, basically find the space closest to a heater. Plane trundles down the runway, gains enough speed, lurches off the ground. If you're not certain if it's going to come back down or actually go back up, it manages, it feels like, to go up like a giant flying whale that it is. It heads off into the sky. So, as you're flying through the night, some time will pass. And then basically, as time passes, you'll start to realize you can kind of hear voices coming from behind the divide on the other side. It starts off relatively quiet, just some low murmurs that it's really hard to make out. But then it obviously it starts to get louder as whoever it is on the other side is apparently having a good time. You can hear the clink of bottles, some raucous laughter, and basically eventually, you can catch you can definitely tell that there's some kind of singing going on. It's just everyone's having whoever it is up there is having a raucous good time. Is anyone wanting to go check that out, or is everyone going to stay strapped into their seat?
Hey, it's a
Definitely.
party. I'm gonna check it out.
Definitely staying strapped in.
Okay.
What's the turbulence like?
It's rough. It's very definitely a juddering, noisy flight. This isn't flying at a nice, high, smooth altitude commercial flight. This is a get up, get over, get down type flight. So they're going through the air pockets, not around it.
Meh, I'm still gonna go
Ouch.
party.
Everything
Well-
still seems to be strapped in.
Yeah, has the car moved?
No. Basically,
Okay.
you made sure it was strapped in good. You've
All right.
done this sort of thing before. This is your baby. You've transported it before. You know how to lock it down.
All right. In that case, I will shrug and go with Archie.
Okay. All right. Bounty Hunter.
Chris will follow them with her eyes, but without getting up.
Okay. Um. So as you get closer to the door, the singing kind of becomes more clear, and you realize it is somebody singing "O Tannenbaum," but they're singing it terrible. Basically, it's not being sung in German. It's being sung in English with terrible German accents, like
Oh no.
the fakest German accents you ever heard.
That's awful.
Basically, there's definitely some more laughter and other stuff, and you can hear them kind of addressing it themselves, and you can catch a couple snatches of like some military titles being thrown around. Like you hear like lieutenant or private, sergeant. So, Hunter and Archie, what do you want to do? You're basically just standing and basically by the door.
Well, Hunter is cringing.
Okay.
Because she's never heard O Tannenbaum performed so poorly. Are they singing the actual lyrics of the song? Like, how accurate are they?
I mean, it is exactly what you expect a bunch of drunk people to get accurately. Like there's one or two who basically, you have some people who have the lyrics, you have some people who have the key, and some people who, and the majority of them have neither.
Okay. Well, Hunter will just comment. Dear Lord, that's a disgrace.
I'll find the quintessential American or English song that I can What's the most quintessential Christmas carol in English? Like the most, because that's the one I'm going to start butchering
Jingle
and
bells.
singing louder. There we go. I'm going to take Jingle Bells. I'm going to take the most pathetic and like fake the most, like as if I was trying to do an American accent and failing at it, and butcher it as badly as I can.
Okay. So just on
And
the
I'm
other
just
side of the
gonna
door.
And
Where are you
yeah,
gonna go?
and I'm gonna say that Archie doesn't know how to sing anyway, so off key is not a struggle.
Okay.
Oh no.
Cool. So you're just bellowing this at the other side of the door, huh?
You're killing me.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So as you do, basically the singing kind of, basically you get this, basically you get, there's a momentary kind of hitch in parts of the group. People who are closer to the door, you can tell, realize it sooner, and they kind of dip into quiet, but then they get louder in response. And basically you can hear this, and the singing gets louder as they're obviously trying to compete with you and out sing you. And basically so you can hear some people getting closer to the door. And just as they do, basically, you note the fact that they're kind of settling into a weird version of the song that you hadn't heard before, just as they get closer to the door. And then they open the door just as they end on the weirdest ending to the song you have heard, which instead of being O Tenenbaum is O Hail Fuhrer. And they open the door with broad grins, and you are staring down a Nazi officer. Or basically Nazi soldier
what?
as he opens the door.
I
No,
punch him in
uh-uh.
the face. I
An
punch him in the
actual
face.
Nazi? Wait. An actual Nazi?
I mean, he's
Because
wearing
if
the
they're-
uniform.
I don't even care. I punch him in the face. I don't ask
Why are
questions.
they
I just punch him
singing
in the face.
English? I don't understand.
And so,
I see that from where I'm sitting.
I mean, yes, I think everybody can see that. Basically, the door opens, and there's that momentary pause that you get in every movie as most people kind of stare at each other, and then Archie punches one in the face. Basically, the guy just goes down, basically screaming something about my nose. And again, terribly accented, basically English, basically fake German accented English. And he goes down, kind of basically clutching his nose, and kind of falls to the floor. And at this point, we might as well jump to combat. So,
Yeah,
Oh boy.
for sure.
as you can see, there is a large group of people on the other side.
Well, it's not a party till there's a brawl, right?
I mean, Merry Christmas. So
I think I should have picked the bruiser.
let me switch.
While
Yes?
you're in Roll20, if you would not mind doing me a solid and giving me access to my character, I would appreciate it.
Ditto.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
What
have
is-
edit rights to 20's character and not mine.
How did that happen? Well, let me see here. All right. Let me edit. All players' journals can be controlled by all players. Save. Edit. Ignore the fact that the sheet, basically your sheets are under the PDF. The characters are just so you have tokens. You should be able to edit your own, Michael.
Thank you.
So, here's your basically a couple quick primers on how Feng Shui does stuff. First of all, basically the screen that we're on now, you can see the fact that this is not really a map, but is instead what Feng Shui calls the shot counter, which is kind of an initiative tracker. So on your character sheet, if you go down to the PDF section, you should be able to pull it up. If you can't get access to that, let me know and I can give you access to other versions.
Where is
Uh,
that?
At the bottom of if you click on the newspaper, in the chat window in Roll20,
Yes.
you'll see at the bottom, you'll see a folder labeled PDFs.
Mm,
Under the
Hmm.
journal tab. There's
There
4
should be-
characters and then 4 PDFs.
oh, yeah. Okay. Got it.
Oh, I need to show the action guide as well, because this will be helpful. Okay. We'll go ahead. So, you'll see on there, on the second page of each character sheet, basically it gives you all of your stats. Again, there's not much in here, because Feng Shui is a very, very quick system. Basically, so off the top, for rolling initiative, if you click on your token basically on the map that you can see, you'll see 2 things pop up in the upper left corner of your screen. It'll say roll dice and single die. There'll be 2 buttons up in the upper left. Roll dice, anytime I ask you to roll a skill, just click that, add whatever number is next to your skill, and that will give you the total. If you wish to roll physical dice, how this works is you take 2 dice, you mark one as good, one as bad, and then you roll them, and you take the good die and you subtract the bad die. Important, however, 6s, if you roll a 6 on either the good or the bad die, you keep rolling it, adding them all together, and then either adding it or basically either subtracting from it or adding the total together and using that to subtract from the good die. Note that the macro takes care of all that, so if all that just went over your head, don't worry about it, just click the macro. The only important things...
not getting the macros.
You're not getting the macros? Are other people getting the macros?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't even know what I'm doing, so I can't help you there.
No
Oh.
macros.
That's okay.
What?
I can get physical dice. That's not a big deal.
Why can you
I have no
not?
macros in my macro list either.
Well, they're token macros, so you should just be able to see them whenever you click on the token. Because it says show as token action. Well,
I think those are still just for you though, unless you can share them somehow.
basically, for what I looked up, you can share them, but if not, okay. I will
So
throw this.
2d6,
Yep.
1 good, 1 bad.
Yep.
So and then you take the good minus the bad.
Correct.
I don't
Okay.
have 2d6.
Okay.
So you can do, I think it'll work.
1 second, we'll walk you through this really quickly, 20. For those people who want to use the macro, if you go to the conversation thread that we had, which is your characters, you'll see I put a bunch of text in there, or I will shortly. It starts with /em. Do you see that? And
Yes.
yep. If you go to the last, next to last, not the gear, but the one before it, it's 3 dots and 3 lines.
Yeah.
You see it says macros.
Mm-hmm.
Click add.
Oops.
Just name it roll dice. And then copy that text in, minus the quotes.
Do I need the initial space?
No.
Okay.
If you click test macro, that should work.
Where'd it go?
Oh, you need to add the show in bar.
You could do show in bar if you want it to show up as a bar. You could click show as token action if you want it to show up when you click the token. Either one.
I attempted to use a roll command looking for the value. I didn't select a token because okay, hold on. Input value skill.
Yep, that's whatever the skill is.
I just added a
So-
2 to see if it'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So, and Tony, and Clarence, you can go either way, however you want to roll. The only things
I've
you need
just
to
got dice here. I don't know
Okay.
what's going on.
The only things you need to be concerned about is if you roll 2 1s or 2 6s. And basically, for those who are rolling in the D20 macro, essentially it'll be the first number in each group has to be 6 or 1.
Okay.
But we'll deal with
So-
that when that happens.
So what exactly what skill were we adding?
Okay, at
'Cause I
this
just
point,
typed a
just
2.
just type roll 1d6 and then add your speed.
Plus, where is my speed? 7.
Okay, you're on 13. Archie is on 10. Or Archie is on 10, rather. Chris is on 14. And Clarence, roll a single d6 and add your speed.
11.
All right, so.
And that's with a 6, by the way.
you lumber, you don't blitz, let's be honest. So Nazi soldiers, they are, where are my Nazi soldier stats? There are my Nazi
come-
soldier stats. 8. So they're starting on 8.
Oh, I just realized I have fast draw. It says add 2 to your initiative result. Is that what this was?
Yep.
All right. But then my first action must use guns. Okay.
I don't feel like there'll be
Noted.
a stress for that. Yeah. Okay, and the officers are also going on that at 8.
Because nothing says good idea like guns on a plane.
Yeah,
Right?
what's going to happen? So,
Explosive decompression.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's the worst.
So, basic rundown on how this works. For 90% of your actions, it'll take 3 shots. So, Chris on 16 will be going first. If they take a normal shoot somebody action, that will be 3 shots, which are what these are. So, they'll go 16. So, they'll go 15, 14, 13. They'll be going next on 13. If they take a 1-shot action, they'll go to 12, and then they'll go on 12. Then we'll resolve everybody in each shot. Basically, so that is how things will roll. If you are curious how much what different actions take, there is an action guide in the PDF. But pretty much anything you want to do, just tell me you're going to do it. Describe how you want to do it. It could be, I want to shoot this guy so he stumbles backwards and then falls into the switch and opens the door and basically presses the button, or trips on the bottle, or something like that. The more complicated it is, it'll be slightly more difficult. So the bigger the number you'll need to get on your roll. But like your standard value for hitting somebody is probably around a 13. So you'll note that a lot of you have that as your skill number. So it's not incredibly difficult for you to hit somebody. Mooks, which are things like the Nazi soldiers, will just go down in a single hit. Officers or pilots or named people will generally take a few more hits to drop. So go ahead and what do you want to do, Chris? And we'll kind of walk through your first couple turns here.
Okay. So at the beginning of the fight, designate one enemy as your quarry. All right, this guy is now my quarry.
Okay.
Through this guy.
Which one do you want to basically? You could see a pile of basically both soldiers and officers on the other side of the door.
We'll go after an officer.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pull out my favorite shotgun, Lucille,
Oh dear.
and shoot at my quarry
Okay.
with a +2 bonus.
Okay. So go ahead and make a
roll dice.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be the skill is that the numbers after the weapon?
The
So, like,
skill is your
16.
gun skill.
Oh, gun skill. Got it.
The three numbers after your
+2.
weapon are damage, concealability, and
it.
reload. We'll deal with the reload next round.
There you go. Have an
Okay.
18.
At 18, okay. So that will basically that will hit on an 18. That will hit with the 18 because their defense is 13. He is an officer, so he actually has some health.
16 star.
Your opponent subtracts their toughness from your
16.
smackdown. Add your outcome to your weapon damage. This number is your smackdown. The outcome is how much you beat them by. So 5 plus your damage, which is the first number next to your shotgun.
16. That makes that a 21.
Okay. So bullets erupt throughout him as he stumbles back but basically, while spitting blood, he is still, however, moving. Most named characters will have what essentially are 35 hit points. Mooks will go down in a single hit. Bosses will have 50.
Okay. And how many actions does that cost me?
Okay,
How
that
many bullets or
is
shots does that count?
so. You were pretty much just getting your gun out and firing. So I believe that is basically 3 to pull the gun out. And then double checking really quickly. Come on. A little faster. Pick up an object, run.
I guess I would have to move over there as well and then shoot.
I mean, you can draw from wherever.
If I can draw from where I am, I'll probably continue lounging there in the chair. I'll just whip out the shotgun and start shooting.
Okay. It'll make it a little bit more difficult, we'll say, since you're firing over the shoulders with the shotgun. So okay.
Up with the style though.
Yep.
Flare.
You still hit. It'll do a little bit less damage. All right. So it'll be 1 action to draw and then 3 actions to shoot. So move yourself from 15 to 12. All right, Sam. So you're staring basically into a room full of fake Nazis. The year, if it's just so everyone is sure, the year is the late 80s, we'll say. So basically, these aren't obvious.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, these are not obviously, as far as you can tell, not obvious World War II Nazis, but
this is why I was asking questions. Did Sam notice how bad their accents were?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was impossible not to figure that out.
All right. because she's now been dragged into a fight, she will punch the nearest Nazi to her
Okay.
while roaring at Chris, "What the fuck is wrong with you? We're on an airplane!"
Okay. Go ahead and give me
n-
martial arts.
So that is my...
Obviously,
Where did my button go? What the heck? My macro's gone.
you may need to click on your character if you have not.
Ah, there it is. Okay. Roll dice. Skill 12.
3 and 3, even down to 12. Okay. That just basically he just barely manages to get out of the way. As basically as you're distracted and a little put off by the fact that a shotgun just went over your head, and your ears are still ringing from that sound of the discharge inside. You clip his shoulder. He kind of grunts and staggers back, but then basically is still obviously moving. So that will take 3 actions. So I'll drop you down to 10.
So then I just move to 10.
Yep. And then it is Chris's turn again.
Oh, I see.
Michael?
I'm sorry. What did you ask me?
You're up.
It's your turn
Oh,
We're
it's
on
my
12.
turn already?
Yeah.
because you're on 13
You're on 12.
Oh, I get it.
or
Because
on 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get multiple actions. I'm like, I'm waiting for everybody to go. I'm very confused.
Yep.
Now I get it.
Now, this
That's
works
how
on
this works.
basically people who are faster basically move more
Got it.
often.
I just got yelled at for shooting on an airplane.
You sure did.
You guys got maybe a little breezier in here, maybe? Hard to tell. I mean, it's a military issue.
Sigh, spit the toothpick out of my mouth, whip out my telescoping baton, walk up and beat the guy.
That you
Okay.
just shot? Good lord.
Yes.
So you're shoving through the crowd. So you're going to
Yeah.
move over to him. We'll say that takes moving over to him is probably going to take you a couple of basically pulling the weapon out is an act. Basically putting away your other one will be 2 actions.
Okay.
Actually, it's three actions to store your current gun and draw a new one. So it'll be 3 actions for that. So you are still in the seat, but you have put away your gun and pulled out the baton. You're starting to stand up. Actually, I think moving is maybe probably, but also. Okay. So you're starting to push your way. You're moving towards the officer, pushing your way through with your with your baton out. Clarence, all this is going on around you. You don't like planes, and this plane ride just got a lot worse.
He just exhales slowly, unbuckles his belt, and pulls a Louisville Slugger out of his bag.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
love it.
And just
Fantastic.
Oh, that's
starts
awesome.
walking right into the group of Nazis. Like, I hate North Pole Nazis.
Okay. So the pulling the bat out will be a single shot. And then I believe I'm double checking movement. I'm fairly certain that movement is free. Okay. Yep, we'll say basically you does start that, so you will basically be in the middle of the mooks with the slugger out on 10. So who has the highest speed? What's everyone's speed on who's on 10? That's Sam Hunter, Archie, and Clarence.
I have 7.
I have 8.
I have 5.
Okay.
I got a
So-
rock.
Archie goes first.
So I'm gonna pull out my bow and arrow and just start wailing on him.
Okay.
He can't shoot guns, but nobody said anything about arrows.
Okay. You're firing off an arrow. So it will take a single shot for you to pull out your bow. So we'll move you to 9. Go ahead and go to 9. Sam, what are you doing on 9? You're gonna follow up and punch the Nachi you punched last round?
I'm sorry, is that me you're talking
Yep,
to?
Sam.
Sorry.
problem.
Yes, I'm gonna swing at the same dude.
Kip. Give me another martial arts check.
Hiya!
Oh, I have martial arts. I could have just done that. Oh, well.
Okay, 6 exploded into another 6, then a 2, giving you a result of 24. All right, so you basically, here's the thing you can do when you look at your result and you realize it's ridiculously huge, and you're fairly
Okay.
certain that you beat whatever defense they have. You can request to add other things onto your attack. So
Okay.
you know the fact that basically these guys have a defense probably around 13. So even with a more difficult thing, it'd be 17, leaving you with 7 left over that you can pretty much declare whatever you want. So you want to punch this guy into somebody else. You want to punch him into something. You want to sprawl him on the floor. You want to punch him and grab his gun.
Okay.
Or basically, or do something else during the action. So you punch him and also draw a weapon, or slam a door shut, or basically rip a crate open, unlatch a crate from a wall, or something like that.
Okay. So Sam actually kicks this guy in the chest and he goes flying into the table that they were all sitting at and just breaks the shit out of the table.
Nice flare.
Okay. So he goes flying across the room, and basically there's a table which has a bunch of beer bottles and other stuff set up on it from all their drinking. And basically, so it goes everywhere, scattering bottles and shattering the table and reducing it to all sorts of nasty splinters and table leg and other parts. Papers also go flying as well. Okay.
And I'm expecting that this guy doesn't get back up.
Oh no, he is not getting back up.
All right, cool.
It is up to you whether or not it was a lethal or non-lethal. Up to you. It's a mook. He is going down either way. It is up to you whether he is not getting back up because he is dead, or if he's not getting back up because he has been knocked silly.
He's been knocked silly.
Okay.
I mean, she may be a maverick, but Hunter's still a cop. She's
All
not
right.
trying to kill people unless they really are trying to kill her. Or, innocent folk.
Okay. So that was a 3-action thing, so you drop down to 7. And then Clarence, you're up.
All right. Well, I guess I'm now in the middle of all the mooks, right?
Yep. There is.
All right.
one
Let's
less
see what
of
I'm going to
them.
do with my baseball bat. Okay, a 2. This isn't going well. With a 2, so that's a 0. So I assume baseball bat uses martial arts.
Correct.
So that is
And remember
a
your
14
ability.
because my first attack of any fight gets a +2 bonus.
Okay. So you're basically a 14. You could go ahead and describe how you tee this guy up. Nothing particularly fancy, but you are very definitely basically, you're not swinging for the fences, but this is a solid double or triple on this guy.
Okay. Well, that's probably because I'm in the middle of everybody. I'm just going to put it right into his sternum, the tip of the bat right into the sternum.
Ooh.
Okay. There's
Ow.
a cracking sound as you probably broke, or at least broke bone, if not cartilage, if not bone. And he goes down, gasping, his attention, his desire to continue fighting, very obviously gone. Go ahead and drop yourself
I'm not a
down
cop.
to. Is he dead?
He will be.
Okay. So he starts spitting up. Basically, he starts spitting blood, as obviously several of the bones have punctured lungs, and he collapses on the floor, choking. Basically, blood spitting out of his mouth. He is dead.
Clarence was on the naughty list for a reason.
Go ahead and move yourself to 7. On 9, Chris, what's your speed?
8.
So go ahead and make your attack. We'll go with Archie first.
Archie is going to turn one into a pincushion.
Okay.
So that's where I just roll the macro.
You're gonna be rolling the skill guns because that's the skill they use to describe any ranged weapon in this game.
And the macro broke. Oh, because I have to have my.
Yeah, select your
thing.
token.
There we go. So the value I put in on the skill is 7.
No, it's higher than that. Probably, I think it's 14 for guns for you. Yeah.
Bow and arrow I have 7 and then /7/5. Oh, guns
that's the
14.
damage.
Got it.
Yep, that's the
Got
damage
it.
of the
Got
weapon.
it. Got it. Got it.
Though you have a skill which lets you, you do the highest damage value of any firearm carried by an ally taking part in the combat who attacks with guns. The damage value of your arrows is 1 point below that. Ooh. So
It doesn't matter because I rolled badly.
yeah. So basically, you go to pull
dear.
pull the bow, the arrow back, and someone has obviously one of your enemies from your previous fight, had nicked your bowstring and you hadn't noticed it. And so from beyond the grave, after you've already defeated that enemy, they've gotten their revenge on you as your bowstring snaps. And basically the arrow clatters to the ground. But it's okay. You'll be able to quickly restring it in combat.
I was seriously expecting an arrow in the buttocks a la Shrek.
Nope, that will happen if she rolls boxcars. Then we'll deal with that.
Heck of a critical failure there. Wow.
Goodness.
Exploding failure.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, so you move down 3, so you're going on 6 next, and then Chris, you're up next.
So, do I need to continue moving before I can smack this guy around?
You're in the group.
Awesome.
It's your choice if you're side by side or back to back with Clarence.
Side by side. Roll dice. This is still my quarry and martial arts, so that makes that a 14 skill. That's a 20. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit him with I'm gonna hit him in the head with the baton so that he conks heads with the guy standing next to him.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So basically, you'll slam into him, and basically, he will stagger back and clack into the other guy. He will drop to the ground. Lethal? Or are you going lethal or non-lethal with yours?
Lethal.
Okay. He drops to the ground, utterly senseless. Basically a cracked skull, blood, basically kind of pouring out of a head wound there. And the guy next to him basically loses his balance and takes a 2-shot penalty as he has to recover from the fact that he just got cracked in the head and is seeing stars. So okay. So now it is finally that drops you down
One
3.
attack is how many actions?
3.
2, 3,
3.
2, 3. Cool.
Okay, then the Nazis are all going to basically scream, they all scream fake, like, Achtung, and, there, and, meine Herr, meine bullet wounds. It's all very terrible. One of them may have actually gotten the German swear off, you think, but apparently he got more than a couple years of high school German. So
basically, he said "Scheiße."
Yes. So basically, they're all the one soldier who is still standing is just going to take a basic swing at the nearest person. He's going to go, of course, for Clarence because he's the big guy with the big baseball bat. He's just kind of standing there. So he's going to go with. Let me actually pull up so you can see there. All right. He's going with. He has an 8 attack. Okay. So roll dice. That's the macro for roll dice. No, I have to select somebody. 8 skill. Okay, so how does this work? He's going for Clarence. So he is hitting a target of 13. Is that higher or lower than your defense, Clarence?
My defense is 12.
Okay, so that will hit
So that
you
would
with
be higher.
Yep. So that will hit you with an outcome of 1. Meaning the fact that he will do 1 additional damage into whatever his base damage is for just punching you, which will be like a 5. But then you will subtract your toughness for whatever damage you do. So what's your toughness?
12.
Okay. So he does the traditional winds up big and just plants a blow right in your gut, and then just kind of basically just kind of gets a grin on his face, which slowly fades away as he realizes that you don't really notice. And he just kind of looks up. That's his action. So what happened was basically he did damage. He did about 6 damage, but his toughness is 12, so he just ignored it. The one officer who you shot earlier is going to pull a gun, so that will move him to the bottom of 7. The rest of them are also going to pull guns, so that will line them up pretty much all there. All right, Sam. Basically, a bunch of people are basically pulling out guns and basically shouting. So 20 is your action.
Sam Hunter.
20.
That one.
Sorry, I thought I was muted and I thought I was open. All right. How many of these homies were there to begin with, and how many are down for the count?
2 are dead.
Okay.
Actually, 3 should be, I think, at this point. So
Because I know I knocked one out, but I didn't kill him.
yeah, you knocked one out. Chris knocked one out. Chris killed one, and Clarence killed one. So there's 1 soldier left. Actually, Chris, you were going for your quarry, right? Or were you going for a soldier? Oh, never mind. I think I screwed it up. So we'll just say you took out a soldier. It's fine. Actually, say you took out an officer. It's fine. Okay. So there are 3 officers and 2 soldiers standing.
Okay. So one of these, all the ones on 7 are officers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I will target one of these dudes because ostensibly they're closer to me. Is the closest one to me armed?
Yes. All the officers basically have pulled out guns. which look like they are basically old style Lugers.
Okay, handguns. Got it.
Yep.
One moment, please.
The history buff in me pictured a very specific item when you described that, Mark.
I don't know. I have this image kind of like in the third Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Uh-huh. The pen is mightier. What would I need to do to attempt to disarm the nearest guy and just take him out non-fatally?
If you wanted to disarm the nearest one, you're probably trying to restrain them. So for that, it is a martial arts check. It's the same
Okay.
3-shot, but it is basically instead of doing damage, you do whatever whatever outcome you wanted.
Got it. All right, so she'll try and disarm and just knock out the nearest dude.
Okay, going for disarm and damage. Okay. So he is basically, he dodges out of your way, seeing you coming. He will actually spend an interrupt and spend a shot, and will dodge out of the way. So that delays him around. And he basically manages to get the gun just out of your reach.
Okay. So I missed.
Yep, you missed.
Okay. So now what happens? Do I move my...
Yep, you move to 4.
Okay.
And then it is Clarence's turn.
All right, let's see if I can get another one with my bat. That is a 3. That is a 4 because I'm just doing fabulous today. So that's an 11.
11 for the officer. Okay, that will basically, he is able to get out of the way of that. But he will respect the bat and also tries to get out of the way and so spends a shot. So you delay him a turn. And you will move to 4 as well. One Nazi officer will then take a shot at you, rolling his gun skill. So 12, submit. Ooh. He rolls slightly better. So that's a 24. So you can choose, basically, Bruiser, you can choose to dodge, which will basically subtract, basically take a shot from you. And will add +3 to your defense. So which would lessen this blow a little bit. So because what's going to happen, he's going to use 24 minus your dodge, which is 12. So he has an outcome of 12. Plus his damage is 9, is 21. Minus your toughness is 12. So right now you are taking 9 points of damage. If you
And
dodge,
you said what happens if I was going to say what happens when I dodge?
If you dodge, you'll spend 1 shot, and you'll get 3 defense, which is essentially reduce the amount of damage you take by 3.
Let's try dodging out of the way.
Okay. So you will take 6 points of damage as he lines a beat on you and fires, and you manage to get out of the side and turn what would have been a nasty wound, basically into a slightly less nasty wound. Go ahead and indicate that by, you click on your character, you'll see the 3 circles, red, green, blue. Put the number 6 in the red circle. For
I
you,
thought you said 3.
no, you take 3 less. It was 9 to start with. You took 3 less. That brings it to 6.
I thought. Never mind. Yeah, been a long day.
Understandable.
There we go.
Yep. So for you, basically, for everybody else, they have to start worrying about that when that number equals 35. For you, you don't care about it until it reaches 50.
Believe it or not, I printed out my character sheet. It's right here.
We
I'm old.
This game is basically kind of lends itself to that. So that's his 3 actions. 1, 2, 3. You drop
Speak
down
for
one
yourself,
from 4
sir.
to 3. And then on 6, Archie, then Chris.
Well, Archie's gonna drop her bow for the time being and punch one in the face.
Okay. Give me a martial arts check.
So martial arts is 12.
Are you going for an officer or a soldier? Okay, a mook or someone who actually has some defense?
Whoever is closest to me.
That is your call.
An officer.
Okay.
That's probably a dumb idea considering, but so 12. Considering my luck with dice. Oh.
Okay. So basically, you basically throw a punch into his chest, basically, and he just basically launch a kick at him, and he just barely dodges out of the way. So he is fine. Chris, you move yourself to 3.
Yeah, so we're going to hit. I killed the guy that I was originally focused on, so I'm going to hit the
Mhm.
next guy. Is the one that I bumped his head into still up? The one that Clarence
Yeah,
is going after?
he's going on 5. There's one mook going on 5, one going on 6. If you're going for soldiers.
Yeah, I'll tackle the mook that looks like he's about to come at me,
Okay.
if there is one coming at me.
Basically, at least one officer and one soldier going after you.
Oh, yeah, we'll go for the soldier for sure.
Yep.
I don't get the bonus because he is not my quarry. But that's fine. I will. Oof. Ouch. Painful.
So you dive at him, but come up a little short.
Uh-huh.
So move yourself to 3. Then the officers
Yep.
will get their shots. One will go for you, Chris. So that one, roll dice.
Bring it.
That's an officer, so he's going up to attack with 12.
Nope.
He misses. Second officer goes for Sam. Looks like that one goes for Sam, who's also been knocking down people. Doesn't have enough to realize they're not getting murdered. Misses Sam as well. Bullets are ricocheting all over the plane, basically pinging through. Basically, several of them have kind of basically plunged into walls, and you can see that basically the surface has not been penetrated yet. They're deeply embedded. One the second shot narrowly misses a window. So it goes to 3, goes to 3. Then a soldier. They're going to try to gang up together on Clarence. So he also kind of charges at him, trying to get behind him. So 8 gets a 10. So basically, Clarence sees this guy run up and trying to attack him. He's trying to be clever and get him from behind, and just telegraphs the move for days. And Clarence easily just steps aside. Also dropping to 3.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
The other Nazi soldier shakes his head, clears it, says, "Hey, mine head! How did you hit my cough?" Ah, remember the word. And basically it then comes swinging for Chris.
Uh-huh.
And
At what
basically
point does it become a critical fail and I get to punch him in the face for swinging at me?
not on a positive result like that.
Aw.
Wait till we get negative.
There we go.
Okay, he drops to 2. All right. Sam on 4.
Okay. One moment while I move this stuff around on the screen so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay. What is this guy's status?
He's fine so far. Basically,
Okay,
he's been basically the one that was actually going after people. Basically, trying to hurt. Basically, was trying to shoot. Is this one down here?
okay.
This one has bullet holes in them. So there are 2 Nazi officers who do not have bullet holes, and one has some, but apparently non-lethal. Might be lethal if he doesn't get medical attention soon enough, though.
Well, I mean, shit does happen. Okay, I'm gonna target the one here with me and Clarence. Does he have a weapon in his hand?
Yep, all the officers have Lugers out.
That's what I thought. Okay, so Hunter is still unwilling to shoot a weapon on a plane because, you know, explosive decompression is a thing. So she is going to attempt the same thing she attempted last time, which is to say, she is going to try to disarm and disable this officer. And here we go. Oh, shit.
Okay. So he is basically backed up. Basically, he keeps jumping, backing up, getting out of your way, backing away from you. So you're backing him into a wall at this point. He is right next to the wall, basically the plain wall, near some of the crates, and definitely near one of the doors, one of the external entrance hatches at this point. So you move to 1.
Got it.
Clarence?
All right, let's go after the jerk that shot at me.
Okay. Still swinging
1
through the baseball bat.
and a 6. Jesus.
Okay, so this is the point where I need to tell you basically we'll introduce the concept of fortune. We've got enough in here. So everyone has a stat that says fortune, with the exception of the archer where the stat says chi instead. And that is essentially, think of basically like in Pathfinder, you have hero points. That is essentially what fortune does. Fortune gives you basically an attempt to re-roll. You can spend fortune. Your stat stays the same, but you have a certain number of points granted to you at the start of combat that are equivalent to that fortune value. So if you wish to spend a fortune, you can use that to re-roll that result.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Spend the fortune.
Okay. So make a note that you spent.
Okay,
one
that's a
fortune.
6. And that's a 1.
There you go.
So yeah, that's 5 plus 12, so 17.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, and there's also a +1 cumulative because I missed last round, so 18.
Okay. And you were going for one of the officers?
The one that shot me, yes.
Okay. So that defeats his defense. He'll be subtracting 5 for his toughness. So you have 5 because you beat it by 5. Anyway, so what's the damage on your weapon?
Which number is that?
Is the first number and the 3 after it.
Baseball bat is 13/5.
Okay. So with your 13, you also have very strong, which adds 3 to your weapon on any successful melee art strike. So that makes it 16. And basically the 5 from your outcome and the 5 of his toughness have cancelled out. So he takes just about half his health and damage. Ow. Basically, you crack his jaw, basically spitting teeth everywhere.
All right, and now
Did
that I've hit the dick with the Luger, I'm going to go because I have to talk to my kids. So
Okay.
later, y'all.
Bye, Tony.
Wow.
Drop you down. All right. Archie.
Archie's going to go after. Archie has been having no luck with the dice, so Archie's going to go after one of the pawns and just try to punch him in the face.
Ow. Sorry.
Because Archie has been. I personally have been plagued by the dice rollers lately, and I continue to be plagued by dice rollers.
Wow.
I might as well
That's
give up.
spectacular.
Basically, the problem you're having is the fact that you draw your strength from the earth. Basically, you funnel the strength of the earth into your bow and arrow and into your strikes, and the rocking up and down inside the side of this plane is just driving you nuts. It's just throwing off your entire groove. Okay, that moves you. You're at 3, so that moves you to 0. Chris. Basically, you always get to take whatever actions you get to take your full actions, even if it would take you negative. You just go to 0. Everybody goes to 0 once they hit that point. They don't deal with partial actions or anything like that.
Makes sense.
Okay, Mike, Chris.
Yes. So the guy that I missed last time, I'm gonna try for him again. That officer.
Okay.
So let's do that. Oh man.
Ooh, you guys are rolling incredible, and I mean that incredibly badly. You can spend
So-
fortune. Don't forget.
Okay. So yeah, let's spend fortune. What can I spend fortune for?
The
To
most
reroll or
basic.
to add or
The most basic use of it is to reroll. Basically, there are other things you can do with fortune in terms of using it to
Yeah.
boost others' attacks, but the most basic use is just
yeah. I'll spend that on a reroll then.
okay. Technically better.
Apparently, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any at all.
Yep.
See, this is
Nice.
why we use guns, because this is just nonsense.
I mean, it's up to you whether your character would do it or not. The bad guys are using them. Okay. Oh, adding a fortune die just adds another die. Okay, I screwed it up.
Oh.
Adding a fortune die just adds another d6.
Oh, okay.
So
Got
if
it.
you wish to change that instead, you could just add another d6 to your first one.
Let's see what happens. No.
Okay.
It's still a miss.
Okay. All right, so you're done. Then the officers open fire again.
FYI, the action guide is not actually loading for me, so
Really?
I can't actually look stuff up. It just gives me a something went wrong. It flashes on the screen like it's going to load, and then it says something went wrong and doesn't let me see it. So
All right, I'll just throw it into Confluence in a second here. The first officer opens fire. Is going to be shooting at. We'll go with Chris.
yeah, bring it.
Nope, that's skill of 0. That's all I wanted.
So once we all get down to 0, we just all take turns, or
No, basically, once everyone gets down to 0, then everyone rolls initiative again, and you start through the sequence again.
Cool.
Let me
Interesting.
change that. So he actually has a skill. So actually, that'll be a total of 12. I just add a skill in. So 12, I think, misses you, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he misses. That officer will open fire at Clarence. I'll just deal with that. 16. Clarence can dodge, which will make that a miss. Then the other Nazi officer will fire at Sam. 18. What's your defense, Sam?
That hit.
Okay.
I'm 13.
All right. What's your toughness?
8.
Okay. So you will take makes it, it's 13, so 5. 5 plus 9 is 14, minus 8. So you'll take 6 points of damage.
So I just put a -6 in the red circle.
Yep. Again, you only need to care about that number once it hits 35.
Okay.
There. And the one Nazi soldier will take a swing at Chris. Nobody has basically had any luck in here.
Nope.
And that's a 7. Nope. Basically, he does a big haymaker and just basically flops on the ground and misses. All right. So, everyone go ahead and re-roll your speed.
Wait. I'm on 1.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on 1. Sorry. Oop. Go ahead and go on 1.
All right. There's a dude on the ground. Am I anywhere near that guy?
Do you mean like someone who's unconscious and or dead?
No, you
Or-
said that the guy that just took a swing at Chris flopped on the ground.
Yeah, you're near him.
All right. I'm gonna try and stomp on him and keep him down.
Okay, give me martial arts. That just barely misses. You can add a fortune die if you want.
Sure, why not?
Just roll an additional d6. Okay, adding 5, 15, that hits. Basically, you crack, basically stomp on, basically, where do you want to stomp on him?
Oh, I just want to hit him in the head enough to keep him down.
Okay, you bounce his head off the deck. Basically, he grunts and basically his eyes roll up in the back of his head, and he stops moving.
Cool.
All right.
And now I'm at 0.
Yep. Now you're at 0. Everyone re-rolls speed and resets.
Cool.
Officers go on 9.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
not amazing.
Jeez!
And the soldiers
What the
go
heck?
8.
That was real bad.
Oh my god.
As I know, it's a single d6, not 2.
Oh, I messed up.
Yeah,
Let me do that again.
Just roll 1d6. I do believe it also. Let me double check. I can't remember if this one explodes or not. I don't think it
do
does.
go up. No, I don't go by 2.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it doesn't explode. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about, but I hope it doesn't explode on a goddamn plane in the air.
It's whether or not 6s explode on initiative checks.
Oh,
So meaning whether or not basically Martine gets to keep rolling. The answer is no.
got it.
But Martine, it is your action. You basically so the plane kind of lurches a bit, and basically you can hear shouting coming from even further into the plane. Obviously coming up from the cockpit, or more bad fake shouts. Basically German shouts like, "Room is going on back there." Vo is going on back there.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
So bad. Oh,
Well,
my apologies to any German speakers watching.
I'm gonna restring my bow and shoot in that general direction. It says that. So is this considered? This would not be considered the beginning of the fight, though. It's a continuation, right? Because I have the whole
Correct.
soul of the sniper, so it doesn't count in this particular.
I believe that's only if you go first. Yes.
Oh.
It's you're the
This
first
nine
combatant to
goot,
attack.
This 9 goot.
That's not good.
All right, so I'll restring the bow and shoot then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which are you going for one of the officers, I assume?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez. I give up.
Well, no.
I mean, at least it's not a crit fail.
Actually, that's not half bad. If that's a miss, you could roll a fortune and one more die will get you a hit.
Yep.
That's true.
I'll do that then.
Okay. So roll 1d6.
1d6. That good or bad?
That's a 6. That's fairly decent, yes.
So 18.
Yep.
6 plus 12.
So hey, Mike, how much does Chris's shotgun do?
The shotgun
Yeah.
does 16 because it's a signature weapon. If it's not a signature, then it would just be 13.
Okay. So she will do 12 points of damage because it would be one. Your damage of arrows is one less than that. So you're doing 12 points of damage. And then you're adding your outcome, which was 5. So you're doing 17 points of damage, which minus their toughness means that they're taking 5. No, their toughness is 5, so they're taking 12 points of damage. Note that you can use rapid volley to spend 1 chi point and an additional 3 shots. So you'd go from 14 to 8 to double your damage, essentially.
I'll do that.
Okay. So you do 24 points of damage. This guy is basically, as you fire 2 arrows, basically you restring your bow
into his
quickly.
bum.
Straight into
Straight
his
into
bum.
his, like in the cartoons.
Left and right both get hit. He screams and dances around, and basically he's still standing, but only barely. Basically, he's definitely having a bad day. Actually, that would kill that. That would kill that officer.
I was going to say.
That one is dead. Okay, so you move to 8. That brings us all the way down to 9. Chris?
Hey. I'm gonna smack this guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to. See if I can do it. Oof. Yeah, we'll fortune that.
Okay.
Goodness.
The die roller hates you, and it's personal.
It'll really be like that some days. Okay. And that would be 3.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Is Martine, your character?
This
Didn't
should
move
be an
down.
8.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Gotcha.
Sam, you're up.
Okay. Sam will target the nearest homie and just try to beat him up.
Okay. Lunging a kick at him.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 18 is more than enough. That's going for the officer, I assume, not a soldier. Or going for officer or soldier. Your choice.
Officer.
Okay. All right. So
Is this one of those I can do what I want things within reason?
within reason, yeah. Basically, you didn't exceed it by too much, so but you feel you can
Okay.
probably get away with something.
Well, she just hauls off and kicks him and, toward the next nearest dude and hopefully knocks that dude off balance or
Okay.
affects his ability to do whatever he wants to do.
All right. So you will slam into that guy. Basically, you could hear a, let's see, so 18. What's damage on martial arts? We just have to double check that. But that actually will be enough to probably drop him. So he will go down. Basically, as you crack into him, basically your foot basically catches him just under the ribs into the solar plexus, basically
Oof.
lifting him off his feet, driving him backwards. He no longer being conscious, just kind of ragdolls backwards and flails into his buddy, who has to shove him off. But doing so basically causes him to lose his balance, and basically he has to spend a couple turns readjusting. All right. Now down to 8. You move to 6. On 8, Archie is up.
I moved to 6. Okay.
Martine?
Oh, sorry. My mic was up. I'm going to the volley of arrows worked out really well last time, so I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
Turn another one into a porcupine. Porcupines are festive for the holiday season, yeah?
Yeah. They look like Christmas trees.
Exactly.
Especially if you have red and green fletching, it works great.
We'll
Does
assume I
Archie
do.
start singing "Oh Christmas Tree"? That would be funny.
Sure. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. I don't know the words to the song. Okay.
Originally 7.
And I have about the same ability to keep a tune as my character, apparently. Why did it not ask me? Oh, because I didn't do the clickety click. Clickety that, clickety that, clickety that.
There you go. That's a 15. So that will hit one of the officers. That will hit one of the officers. Are you going to go for the wounded one or the unwounded one?
I'm going to go for the wounded one, right in the eyeball, so that it does like in Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's got the arrow sticking out of his eye, and when his eye moves, the arrow moves.
Ooh. Okay. Actually, there's only one officer left. Yeah, that's right. We killed the other one, so he's actually uninjured. Okay. So basically, you're slamming an arrow into his eye. Ow. Okay, that will give him an impairment as he attempts. Basically, as he can't quite. Basically, has to adjust to that. But 15 beats his defensive 3. Your weapon does 12, so 15 minus 5 is 10. So that will do 10 points of damage base. It's up to you if you wish to do another double.
How
That'll
many
drop you all
times
the way
can
down
I do that?
As many as you have
Yeah.
key points. So you already spent
How many
one
key
for
points?
a reroll and then another one for the arrow, so you're down to 2 less.
Where do I keep my key points? Is that the cheat thing?
Yep.
Oh, I have 7.
Yep, so you have 5
So
now.
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the volley.
Okay, so drop yourself down to 3, and I'm going to do an additional 10. Putting him to negative 20. Yeah, what do we do? Nope. It's 20. There we go. That's fine. Okay. Then the
Can't find a
soldiers
piece of
basically. Go ahead.
No, I said I can't find a piece of paper to write it down. That I'm
Oh,
down to
okay.
3.
Okay. So, well, no, basically, you're not down to 3 key points. You're down to action 3. You're going on. Action 3
I'm
next.
down to 3.
Yeah,
So I've
because it
spent-
takes. Actually, you're down to 2 because it uses 2. It uses 3 additional shots to do that.
But so I've used my key ability, what, 2 or 3 times?
3. You added 1 die,
times.
and you fired 2 arrows. You fired 2 volley arrows. Okay.
So, and I have 7 total. Okay. Got it. My bad.
Okay. One of the Nazi soldiers is basically going to continue trying to swing, trying to swing at somebody. Basically just is wildly swinging at Chris. So.
Swing it.
Nope, that's 0. I should have added something to it. So 7 plus 8 is 15. What's your defense?
That is a hit.
Okay.
Takes
he
a
had
hit.
7 damage. He basically, what's your defense?
Defense is 14.
Okay, so 14. So he just barely hits with a 15. So he has 1 outcome. Plus his damage value is 8. Is 7. Plus 1 is 8. So what's your toughness?
7.
Okay, you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
He gives you that. Basically that start of the fight. Basically, slight. So he punches you in the side effects, and you have a slight scar. And it bleeds slightly. And he looks all cocky. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah, after most of my buddies are dead.
the Fourth Reich will live forever."
The Fourth Reich.
What? That's not a thing.
The Fourth Reich. I just imagine this guy like totally dropping the fake German accent. The Fourth Reich will live forever, dude.
Totally has kind of a Dubro voice. Yes, you are absolutely correct. They're terrible dude bro, basically fake neo-Nazis.
Ugh.
And the other soldier is going to try to be clever. And is going to basically runs up to one of the other tables. Basically grabs a box of beer bottles. Basically of unopened beer bottles, is going to throw it at Sam, hoping to basically smash a bunch of beer bottles into you.
What? This is very Keystone Cops. Okay.
Rolls a 10. That misses you. So basically, the bottle smashes next to you, but the box smashes next to you, basically scattering broken glass all over the floor. And basically, the officer is going to basically, who's got 15 health left. He's going to start moving towards. Basically, he grabs a parachute. Basically, there's a rack of parachutes nearby. He moves over and grabs one of them. That's what he does on 7. That's a single action. Single shot. Chris, you're up.
Yeah, so we're going to. I still have this guy in front of me, so I'll keep swinging until I miss, or until I end it, I guess, is what I'm looking for. That's better. Much better.
Okay. That's 17. That defeats his defense of 12. Or 13, rather. That gives you 4. Plus 8. Taunt Bud does damage 8, unless you have something else that tells you what the damage on that is.
10.
10. Okay. So that makes it 14. Minus his toughness of 5 makes it 9, brings him to 29. Basically, one of his legs, one of his arms very definitely gets broken by that attack as he's struggling to try to put the trying to put the parachute on, with juggling the gun and the parachute. Sam, you're up.
Okay. Sam moves to target the one who's got the parachute because she can see what the fuck he's intending and is not having it. And will initiate a physical assault on him.
Okay. That will hit.
Awesome.
That's 7. Basically, unless you have something special for damage, I don't think you do.
Not for fisticuffs, no.
No, just guns.
Yeah.
I love that
Okay.
word. Fisticuffs. No, I can't say it.
Sam, by the way, is very, very irritated that she can't use her gun here. So all of the irritation is all over her face and in every action. She's like gritting her teeth and like muttering
Okay.
under her breath.
All right. So 13. It just adds at 7. 2. Okay. Basically, that does 3 points of damage. Yes. It's 7 minus 5. Yes. So actually, is there anything else for? Who's Judah stealth around? Yeah. Okay. Okay. He is still standing, and he is moving towards basically he moves toward the door, and is going to open it. So basically, he will move towards
Can
the
we
door.
give him a nice little kick on the backside?
So he starts to interact. He starts to interact with the door. So basically, we'll drop him to 3. He's about to open the door. Basically, you can tell the fact that the cabin pressure is starting to change as he opens the door, and wind's starting to whip out. He gets the door open, and so then there's now a bunch of the winds, the usual door open on an airplane at an altitude, wind sucking noise. Everyone's getting pulled and things like that. So everyone will have a +2, basically -2 penalty on their rolls for dealing with the adverse condition.
You hear Hunter swear, "God damn it!" Because she
On the
knew
flip
this would
side-
happen.
You don't have to worry about decompression anymore.
I guess there's no longer a reason for me to not use mine.
The soldiers are going to have to make a quick check to make sure that they can actually make a toughness check to see if they can actually stay in the plane and grab onto something. Soldier 1, toughness check. Roll dice. What's their toughness? Oh, they don't have toughness removed. Right, well, I get a speed check. That's fine. 3. Ooh. Nope. And what's his speed check? He gets a 4. Okay, so both of them are thrown, basically start cursing and swearing and start getting dragged. Basically fall on their faces, or basically they try to grab onto something, but they're getting slowly sucked towards the door. On 3, Chris, I need a speed roll from you.
Oh, you need a speed roll on 3,
Yep.
huh?
Okay. So what do you want to grab onto?
There's got to be is there a seat?
Sure. Again,
I
basically
will
with Feng
grab a
Shui, you can
seat.
pretty much declare what you want to be there, and within reason, it'll be there.
Yeah, I'm just going to grab a seat.
Okay.
So that my goal is to grab a seat and strap in.
Okay. So basically, you've done that. That's just the beginning of your turn. You can take the rest of your turn. Or you use your actions however you want.
So, beginning of my turn, I'm grabbing a seat, strapping in, and because of that, I'm going to pull out my shotgun again, which is, I believe, 3 actions to do that.
It's not quite 3. It would be
I thought you said it was 3 to swap weapons earlier.
to store. You're storing. If you're storing
Yeah.
both, yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to let it fly out the plane.
Okay. So you're done with that. Sam?
Oh man.
He is standing in the open doorway, so give me a speed check.
Is that 2d6 or just 1?
2d6.
Okay.
Add your speed.
Yikes.
Okay. So what do you want to try to grab onto?
I am pondering. Give me a moment.
No problem. Archie, you can go ahead and give me a speed check because you'll have to be doing the same thing on 2.
Okay. So speed check is just a flat.
It's add your speed skill to a roll.
Oh, is that a 2 die roll?
Yeah, it's a 2 die roll.
Oh, I did mine incorrectly then. My bad.
It's fine.
Oh, it's the roll dice plus the speed.
Yep.
Got it. I was gonna do it. Okay. Dice plus my speed is 8.
Because I had made myself an initiative macro and I had rolled that instead.
Oh. Okay, so we'll deal with that here in a second.
Yikes. And you're
But
all about those negative rolls.
But I do have the way the wind blows. Instead of penalty under adverse conditions, you get a +2 immunity bonus to attacks. I don't know what that means, but does that mean this would be adverse conditions?
Yes, it is indeed, Edmus. Okay, we'll deal with how that works out.
Hunter grabs onto the nearest like piece of strapping holding down a piece of cargo or something.
Okay. So with that roll, we'll end up having it basically you end up grabbing it with one hand. And basically you're doing the traditional movie, basically the depressurization thing where your feet are sticking towards the door, but you got one arm looped through something. So you're not flying out the window, but you're no longer have your feet on the ground.
I'm not able to attack. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, you're not able to. Well, I mean, you're not able to attack normally, but I mean, we're in a Hong Kong action movie. You can do whatever you want. It is just you are in a different position than you were before, and you've lost one of your arms, as it were.
Right, because it's busy keeping me from flying without a parachute. I think that's the end of my turn then. If I'm just
Well, no, basically you have your normal action. You loop yourself into something, and you're flapping, and now you can pull out a gun and shoot somebody. You can let go and try to kick him, and then bounce off of him and land back inside. You can try to release crates to hit him, or any number of things. Think big, boisterous action movie. That's the situation you're in. What would normally be an impairment is just a setup for more action.
I love it.
All right, she will reach to her shoulder holster and withdraw her Smith & Wesson Model 29 and take a shot at the homie in the doorway. What do I do for that?
Okay, there are two things that could come to mind. Basically, so you pull out your signature weapon. I'm assuming this is what you're
Yes.
Your signature. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll roll your die. You can add 2 to your skill because of your Justice Bringer stat, because, well, basically you are fairly certain that basically, well, neo-Nazi basically dude bro isn't on that list. I kind of assume it falls under the same category as being able to do additional damage against anyone you'd consider a murderer, torturer, or felony sex offender.
I mean, they're all trying to murder us, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so I roll guns plus 2.
Correct.
Okay. Come on.
Okay. You can spend a
Can
fortune if you
I-
want to increase
yeah.
that.
That's what I'd like to do. Here is...
And note that you can spend multiple fortune die if you want. You could spend 2 on this if you wanted.
Is 13 enough?
13 is exactly what you need.
Okay, then I will only spend 1 fortune. That's enough.
Let me double check something. So what's the damage on your weapon?
That's the first number?
Yep.
14.
Okay. Fortune die.
Which includes my signature bonus.
Fortune dice. Okay. So 14 points of damage. Okay, it's more than enough. Basically, since he had 3 health points, he had 3 left before he went down. You fire a shot, center of mass. Basically, and he goes. Basically, he kind of his triumphant smile. Basically, as he kind of looks over you. Basically, kind of slowly fades as he looks down into the bullet hole. He kind of reaches up just almost to touch it before before the blood loss loosens his grip and he gets sucked out of the airplane. Disappears
And
from sight.
Hunter simply quips, "How'd that work out for you?"
Okay.
Nice.
So, Archie, on yours, because of your result, you are not negatively affected by this, but you are literally still standing upright, keeping your perfect archery pose as you slowly slide towards the door. You're just this picturesque, perfect statue as you slide slowly towards the door.
I will try to grab onto anything I can grab.
Okay. Basically, anything in particular you want to try to grab onto? I mean, you're in an airplane. There are lots of stuff whipping around, cables, cords, chairs.
A seat.
Seat? Okay.
They're bolted to the ground. They're likely sturdy.
All right. However, basically, you do realize that if you grab onto something, that will basically you need 2 hands to fire your weapon, so you will not be able to fire your bow.
Yeah, I understand that, but I also don't have a parachute. Nor do I
You
have
have
a
time
death
before
wish.
you go out of the plane. Like it's not gonna.
Oh,
You're not
then
gonna
I'll
go.
continue firing.
Okay.
I'll continue firing. So I will shoot at the next douche rocket. Roll the dice. Shooting. Select. No, that's not me. That's me. Roll dice. I will continue shooting at random Nazis.
Okay.
And
13 will hit.
fail
13
miserably.
will kill.
Oh. Yay! Pincushion!
You slam into that one. Basically, an arrow slams into him, basically, and his struggle ceases as he basically stops crawling at the floor, attempting to keep himself from falling out, and instead goes limp and joins the rest of the debris flying out of the airplane. The other soldier is going to desperately attempt to grab onto something. And does basically just at the edge. He is hanging on to, basically manages to grab the edge of the door. And is hanging on to the edge of the door. And so that will bring us to the end of that round. So we will go ahead and do one last initiative pass. This is going to last. This is not going to last too much longer. So everyone, go ahead and roll speed. So we're just going to roll initiative, which is a single die plus speed.
There, that's better.
I believe he has. What's his speed? Oh, he actually moves up to a 9 now. Ooh, look at him. Now that the door is open, basically the shouting from the shouts of alarm, which have been coming from the, basically you can hear that there are alarms, basically over the howl of the wind, you can hear more shouting come from the front, basically, and pounding on the door. As basically they're trying to, basically trying to figure out what's going on in the back. As they're getting there. I just suddenly got a weird echo.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Why do I have a weird echo all of a sudden? Okay, it fixed. Okay, cool. But basically so the pilots are definitely have taken notice of the situation and basically are shouting at the people in the back, but have not yet opened. Basically, are attempting to open the door, but having troubles with it. As it opens inwards, and they're having problems trying to wrench it open. Chris, you're up. There's one
All
Nazi
right, so we're going
near the door.
There's one near the door. Is he wearing a parachute?
Not currently.
Okay. Are there parachutes in here?
Yeah.
I can see some.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know who is on the other side of the door?
The pilots. You heard one of them shout something. Vo is going on back there.
Vo is going on back there. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to assume that they're in the same league as these guys. There's one guy. There's
Given the
only
bad
one
German
guy.
accents and high school
Yeah.
German, yes.
I am going to pop a shot off at the guy that's currently hanging on. I'm going to shoot at his hand.
Okay.
You know, right where he's holding on to the. Because I'm rude like that.
That'll hit. That'll blow his hand up. He will scream in pain, clutch his hand, and then
go flying out.
Basically have a brief moment of the panicked realization of what he's done before flying out the door. However, you will hear basically a noise and a slight muffled explosion coming from one of the rear engines.
Not ideal.
So that
oh God, did he get chopped up?
Oh yeah, so so that's 13.
So the plane starts lurching at this point. We're no longer in basically we're no longer in shock counter time at this point because there is no one left to fight. We will wrap up the session here with one last action sequence here as the plane definitely starts pitching and yawing. It's great as it obviously becomes apparent that one of the engines has taken significant damage from bird strike, Nazi strike. Don't know if they have a classification for that, but apparently the engine wasn't rated for it, whatever it was. So you guys can basically feel the plane kind of pitching and things like that. The shouting from the front, where the Nazi officers are, continues. What are you going to do?
Grab a parachute, unbuckle, and kind of lunge out of the plane
Okay.
after stowing my shotgun. Of course, I want my hands free
Okay.
for this.
So you're going out the side door, which is already open.
Oh, heck yeah.
Archie?
I'm gonna try to not get sucked out the door.
You're not getting sucked out. You're fine.
Okay. And the pilots also are talking with stupid German accents.
Yes.
So I'm gonna try to gonna go join the whole effort to open the pilot door.
Okay.
Oh dear Lord.
Give me a martial arts
Does
check.
anybody know how to drive a plane?
I know, but I know how to fall very, very well.
Yeah, you're gone, Mike.
Exactly.
Deuces.
Okay. Sam, what are
wait,
you
well,
doing when
hold
you
on.
see this happening?
Sam is still holding on, trying to regain her feet.
You can reel yourself back in at this point because we're out of combat.
all
It's
right.
assumed.
So she's holstered her weapon and has regained her feet, muttering under her breath the whole time, "These fucking morons are trying to kill us. Open the door, the fucking
Pick the wrong day
And-
to stop smoking, sniffing glue. Doing methamphetamines.
What I wouldn't give for a shot of Jack right now. Shoot, what does Sam do? She puts on a parachute and then goes to, just in case, and then goes to grab Archie by the scruff of the neck. You
Okay.
gotta get out of here.
Fine.
And I assume Clarence has already put on a chute and is getting out of here too, because he doesn't want to be here in the first place.
I don't know that he wants to
Yep.
fall either, but you know.
Yeah. The Clarence, though,
Better-
will kind of nudge you and be like, hey, should we take the car?
It doesn't have a parachute.
It does. Of course it does. It's an action movie. You could totally have arranged for a car parachute. You're not an
Yeah.
idiot. You're prepared for these circumstances.
Yeah, get in the car. Get in the car. Both of you.
Okay.
Still muttering under her breath about the idiot who jumped out already.
All right. Archie and Sam both give me attack rolls because pulling this off involves with you in the car. Involves you essentially pulling off dual simultaneous
Nice.
attacks, basically popping the popping the
Nice.
restraints, while the bruiser basically is
Done,
literally going
Marshall.
to slam the hatch open button and then dive into the back seat.
Yeah, are we shooting the...
Yeah.
Wait, are we shooting the straps or
Yes, it's an action movie. You're totally shooting the straps.
Okay, then I need to roll differently.
Shoot the straps.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. Clarence slams the button and basically makes a jump for the back. Slams into the back seat. Barely struggles to it as the car starts to lurch backwards and then suddenly pops the restraints into the weight as the back of the plane opens up and more stuff goes flying out the back. One of the pilots up front finally gets the door open. Just in time for the new pressure wave to just completely suck him, and he whips by the plane. You hear him screaming past the car. Basically, you hear him shouting, "Vroom!" Batting. Basically, you can see the other one who's basically still hanging on, desperately strapped in, basically kind of clutching the plane. Basically, you and him make eye contact as your car starts to roll backwards out of the plane. Basically, he kind of And you see him just kind of basically kind of grit his teeth and basically flip you the bird and basically say something which you think you make out as like some bit like for the Fuhrer or something like that as he slams the plane down. Give me a drive check, basically, as he attempts to tip the plane down, forcing you to roll forward.
Is that 2d6?
Yep, it's a skill. I believe you have that skill, right?
Yeah. Oh, come on. Why?
Okay, so
Why do I keep getting
Not
zeros?
terrible. Not terrible.
Not terrible. So you
works.
slam on the gas, you start accelerating backwards. He's still pushing down. Archie, do you want to try to do anything to help the situation?
I'm not exactly sure what to do.
Well, there's a pilot slamming the thing down.
I
you-
will
Car's
shoot
trying
at the
to-
pilot.
Okay.
I will shoot at the pilot.
Okay.
Doop. Doop. I will submit.
Okay. So your arrow slams home, basically, and in addition to slamming into him, it cuts some of his straps. So suddenly he's now flipping free, and he's desperately trying to hang on. But he clutches the wheel, which versus the plane, basically, of course, pulls back on it, causing the plane to level up as basically as Sam slams the accelerator, and basically the car slams it into reverse. I'm assuming in 1981 it's a manual.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I
Well, it's up to you.
honestly
It's up
don't
to
know.
you. It's up to you.
I mean, either way, it's, a hefty engine.
So you slam the gears, basically kicking into reverse, and there's a brief skidding tire, and suddenly you go slamming backwards out the back of the plane. As the weight shift, of course, causes the plane to kind of flip up and out of control, and you can see it spiraling down out of control before slamming into the ground. Clarence, of course, basically crawls through the basically manages to activate the parachute, causing your car to drift slowly to the ground. He will, of course, at some point, get a 5-liter engine. Oh, good one. V8. 5-liter V8, yeah.
Cow.
This blew past, basically. So with that kind of acceleration, you probably flew at the back, and Clarence is like, basically, you hear Clarence swearing about the fact that as he tries to get the parachute to fire before you're past whatever minimum safe distance there is. He barely manages to get it open in time, but of course, while you're doing that, you will blow past Chris, who's floating in his parachute by down to Earth. So you get past, basically, Chris, as you're floating down to Earth watching the plane. Suddenly, a 1981 Impala blows past you, going
Actually,
way
hold on,
faster than.
Hold on. I haven't pulled my parachute yet at this point. I'm gonna grab on.
Okay, go ahead. So what part of the car are you grabbing onto?
Yeah, windows are
Are the
up.
windows down?
P.S.
Are the windows down?
Up.
Windows. They're what?
They're up.
The windows are up.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna grab inside the wheel well.
Oh dear.
There's a place you can hook your hand and pull myself onto the trunk.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's gonna be ridiculous. Ridiculous for ridiculous.
Okay.
This would be what kind? A martial arts check?
Sure.
That's bad.
Good thing you're still wearing your parachute.
Good news,
Yeah,
bad
dude.
news. Good news is you catch the car. The bad news is you catch it in the gut. Basically, as you mistime basically you were trying to get me, basically as it slams past you, and you instead ricochet at the bot and end up just kind of folded over the trunk.
Oh.
So
Time to pull that parachute cord now.
basically you pull your parachute at the same time that Clarence pulls the car parachute.
Yeah, about that.
Yep. So you end up both kind of drifting down towards the ground. The car will, of course, gently land. As Clarence, basically, Clarence is used. Literally, you can see the muscles straining as he's kind of literally pulling cords on either side to basically act as the directional guide to land the car safely on what appears to be some kind of freight road leading off to a factory that you can see with glowing Christmas lights off in the distance.
Nice.
And
That must be Santa's factory.
It's
Must be.
gotta be. After we land, Hunter will shake Clarence's hand in gratitude for taking good care of her baby.
he will grunt some kind of statement, which you guess is probably
welcome.
acknowledgement. You're welcome, something. And we will basically, since it is 7:30, we will basically go ahead. We can go ahead and continue this next week.
Yes.
As we'll still be in the continued Christmas season. As we
Christmas it
take the
up.
fight to Santa's workshop. As you discover what is going on with all these fake neo-Nazis and Santa.
Are they fake neo-Nazis or are they just stupid neo-Nazis?
Neo-Nazi
Is there a
cosplayers.
difference? Is there a difference?
Yes,
Even if you're gonna
because-
fake it, you're still bad in my book.
I'm just saying that neo-Nazis are bad enough, right? But if you're faking being a neo-Nazi, like
just
that's a
weird.
whole other level of
Yeah, it is.
redonkulous.
I'm just saying if you're messed up enough to don the costume in the first place,
All I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I do have to read you basically. I pulled these Nazis out of one of the adventures that they have, which involves actually fighting in 1944. But I'm just like, oh hey, let's move them forward because why not?
Hilarious.
Because
So-
that's the thing.
Feng Shui is a role-playing game about time-jumping heroes exercising skill, bravery, and good judgment as they battle across history. It's not a vehicle for debating or sympathizing with or legitimizing a horde philosophy. Be a good and moral person when you run the scenario, and indeed, any RPG. If you want to run a game where players beat the crap out of Nazis in so many ways, here follows many pages of background you can use. If you want to run a game where your players are Nazis, will take their side, or interested in participating in Nazi activities, here are some concise instructions what you can do instead. Stick this book up your ass.
Nice. Nice.
I love it.
Fantastic.
And I want to applaud.
That is awesome.
Yes. Just in case you wondered that these people had opinions and what you should do,
And what they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Punch Nazis. They're a great villain. They're great to
Oh,
make fun
goodness.
of.
Love it. Love it.
All right.
And so we will leave it there.
Yeah.
And we
Nice.
will catch you all later. Basically, thank you all for watching. Basically, if you're just joining in, basically it's your first time, or if you've seen this before, this is basically, you could see the fact that I had notes in here. Feng Shui obviously being an improv system. Basically, there aren't a lot of notes, but you can see the fact that I did have some of the characters and some of the stats in here so I could quickly switch to them when I needed them. Basically, LoreLink is a tool for running games, tabletop games, things like that, whether they be in a more improv game or basically a more serious planned out game. You can do that. Looks like our bot has decided to go on vacation for the holidays, so that's fine. But if you go to www.lorelink.com, you can follow us on Twitter if Twitter is still around when you go to follow us. Who knows?
Ouch.
or whether Twitter will allow us to link you to our other website or anything like that. It is always a toss-up these days. If you want to go to our website is www.lorelink.com. There you can sign up for our newsletter. You can, which is a guaranteed way of getting more information from us on a regular schedule. We talk about our streams and things like that. This stream will be up later on our YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/@LoreLinkRPG, I believe. Because we have one of those fun, fancy named handles which they gave out. Oh, hey, that one worked. So basically, there's our YouTube channel if you wish to see more adventures with this crazy crew. Outside of that, we're done streaming Extra Life for the year. So basically, if you have charity, basically have money to give to charities, go forth and do. We have an Extra Life. I think we still have a link there. Yes, we do have a link. So if you missed those, the guys played Among Us last time. So try to think if there's anything else I should say other than have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Actually, I don't know if we already missed Hanukkah or not. Merry Kwanzaa and a Happy New Year. So that one will not be celebrated before we're back on the air. So we'll talk about that one next week. And in any case, catch you all later.
Have a good night. Thank you.